gonna be, who not gonna be. But we gonna learn a little French. Je suis prêt. So je suis prêt mean I'm ready. I'm still learning some French myself, to be honest, but I do know enough French to teach y'all the basics to intermediate. I got my website, Spanish, 100% fluent, been living here in Mexico for almost 6 years. Just posted the free videos. I'm keeping it going. The momentum is getting up there. I still been doing TikTok, even though TikTok ain't been the most generous. I've been on there, just doing me. I mean, I feel like doing my brand is more like a lifestyle. That's how I see it. It's like a lifestyle, like any other brand. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like any other brand. I got my own brand, but it's a lifestyle. So I covered in a video that I had just did. I had covered like my content. So what you're gonna see or continue to see if you're following me, you're gonna see on my channel education. So education, you're gonna see some French lessons, you're gonna see Spanish, you're gonna see English. I just added English to my site. Still working on a few things on my site, but you actually can go to my site and get some English classes. It's just gonna be talking to me, and just helping you to improve your English. So I got that. And then so education, Spanish interpretation, and vibe zone. Three things, simple. At first, when I first started out, I was like, dang, like I'm doing too much stuff. But when you really think about it, it's not really a lot. And even if it was a lot, I mean, it's authentic, it's who I am. But it's just really three different things that I'm offering. Like really, like when you break it down into categories, you looking at the education. He teach English, Spanish, and French. He do Spanish interpretation. I kind of sort of tied it into the education a little bit. I mean, it's not too much of a different feel, really. I mean, it is, but because I mean, when I'm talking Spanish, I talk English. When I'm talking French, I talk English too. So it's kind of like this kind of sort of going backwards and forth between different languages. So it's like you got your education, your Spanish interpretation, and then you got your vibe zone. Vibe zone is the people that love the nostalgia, they love the dance music, they love the 90s. That's like my whole personality. Turn up, turn up. That's the vibe zone right there. So, and then we got RT Vibes, which is my clothing brand right here. This is what I have so far, just a shirt just with my face on it and 90s, and this is what I be using to dance. And this is what I wear to dance in. So that's what we really represent at this point. Like I say, it's a business, but at the same time, it's a lifestyle. Reason why I said it is because I'm doing this pretty much 24/7. When I'm doing this, I mean, it's in my thought process, weekends, you know what I'm saying? So I see it as a business, but not really a business because it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that I'm living. Hey, what's up? What's up? How you doing? So it's a lifestyle. Like everything is my life, the way I live, Mexico City, everything, Russell, from the hood, from the hood. Yeah, I'm from the hood. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. That's originally where I'm from. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up in the '90s. I kind of caught the end of the '90s more so, but I still grew up. I was born in the late '80s. So that's really what I'm giving y'all. So it ain't really no guessing. I mean, I know when I first started doing YouTube, I didn't have like a solid foundation of what I wanted to offer to people. I was sort of kind of like, I'm gonna just kind of do some Spanish because I knew I always loved Spanish. I always knew that I loved languages, but I sort of felt like I was boxed in more so. Like I'm like, okay, I got to do this the right way. Then I would compare myself to like other YouTubers. I would get discouraged because there wasn't a lot of people watching my lives. Sometimes I kind of do still do it, but at the same time, it ain't nothing you can do. When you got your own business, the only thing you can do is show up. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do more than that to me. I mean, you're gonna put your all into it, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If you strategize and they're doing ain't no more you can do other than just show up for people. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when I have interpreter appointments. I mean, I set the appointment, right? Or I set the appointment, and if they show up, they show up. But if they don't, they don't. I still showed up. So I just always kind of look at it like that too. If you doing your thing, and this is your business. I didn't look at it like that at first. I always looked at it at first like if nobody don't show up, it means I'm not good, or it mean like, oh, they don't like me. Shit, what's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? It really felt like that at first at a point in time, and I don't know what it was. I guess just from just life experiences. You know what I mean? I started to feel like, okay, if people not showing up, okay, I got it. What it was. What happened was when I first started doing. I've been doing YouTube for the longest now. And online, it could kind of be different than when you doing stuff in person. When you really engaging with people in person, it's just completely different. It's not the same thing. So it's like almost like, okay, it's a different type of engagement, a different type of just thought process and everything. So when I first started out, like I've been doing this like for the longest, like, and that's like an understatement. I had been on YouTube probably since over a decade at this point. Like I've been dancing. If you go back to the old videos, I was dancing in the living room. Like I literally got videos of when I'm dancing in the living room from like 2010, 2011. Like I got some old videos, so I go way back. I'm an OG. I'm really an OG. So, what happened at one point when I was doing YouTube, I started to feel like, okay, let me just break it down. I feel like it's just a lot. My mind is on overload. It's just a lot, and I want to see it the right way. So, when I first really started to think about making it something, I kind of sort of touched on it throughout the years. I always did dance videos. I always kind of sort of wanted to be a teacher to teach people languages. I got a page called Language Acaditas. So I always kind of sort of wanted to I knew that I wanted languages. I always knew that. So at first, I felt like I didn't really have much of a structure like now. It just was different. It was almost like I kind of was sort of trying to jump on what people like and it was it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I didn't get views here or there, I'm like I just sort of kind of gave up at first. But then I guess I got to a point where I felt like no matter what I did, it wasn't really like about like a lot of people veering or you know what I'm saying. I guess I started to feel like okay, it seemed like regardless of what I do, even if I try to do something that's trendy or what people really what I feel like they want or don't want, I started to feel like it was sort of like the same results. But the only difference was I started to feel empty when I was doing stuff that I only felt that people wanted to see, but I wasn't doing stuff that I really was passionate about, like to the core. If they make any sense. So I started to feel like, okay, man, I'm so empty because ain't nobody showing up. So I started to feel like I would quit easier. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really, I guess, skilling everything in the way that made me feel the most fullest. If that make any sense, I was kind of sort of like I've been dancing, I've been doing Michael Jackson, I've been doing this for a long time before social media, before all of that. But I guess I always wanted to get paid from YouTube. I always wanted to like do this as for a living, like do like, have like didn't want to really work for nobody else. So I kind of always sort of kind of had that in the back of my mind, blowing up. And I guess when I had that in my head, I just was like, it just made me give up. It just made me give up. And like I said, I think it was more so because I felt like what I was doing was wrong because people wasn't showing up. That's the main thing. I felt like what I was doing, like, okay, I love 90s music. I love the dance. I love Spanish, French, English. I love that. But I felt like people wasn't really showing up, so, online. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this or I'm not going to take it that serious because people wasn't showing up. So I eventually got to the point where it seemed like either way I did it, like if I tried to do something that was trendy, like online, that I felt like, okay, let me try to change this up. Let me try to do something that I know people might like. I done tried that before, but it seemed like it still don't instantly work like that. So it's almost like, okay, what could I do? And that's what I had to ask myself. What could I do to where whether people showed up or not, I still would be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be mentally rich. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, I'm still gonna be full of who I am. What could I do and keep at that to where regardless if they show up or not, I'm still gonna be on cloud 10. I'm still gonna be good. And that's when I thought back, okay, what was you doing before social media? What was you doing before social media? So before social media, I was dancing, I was loving languages. So I just got to the point where, look, it's better for me to still show up than to not show up just because potential is at stake. So that's where I decided to never give up because I said, look, everything in life to me is about potential. Ain't nothing set in stone. Whether you working for somebody, whether you working for yourself, your job is not guaranteed tomorrow, today, or whatever. Life is not guaranteed that way. So I got to the point where I just said, you know what, I'm going to show up regardless because at least it puts me in the category of potential, right? So that's what made me change my mindset and start to just continue and keep doing what I do now. And that's why I never look back or never tried to change it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like either way it go, you have more potential if you at least show up, even if it's 1%, 2% potential. You still got more potential just showing up than you not doing nothing at all. So that's kind of what it was. And then also me working for different companies and stuff. I feel like we are all products at the end of the day. If you working somewhere and they love you, I mean, well, I'm not gonna say exactly that, but if you working somewhere and you love doing what you're doing and it align with what you're doing, like for instance, I love Spanish, love languages, so I always want to be an interpreter, which I currently do. But the only thing about being an interpreter for somebody else, I feel like I've outgrown it. Like I feel like I've outgrown being an interpreter for somebody. I'm still doing it, right? Because like I said, I'm trying to scale my business and get my own services up off the ground. That's the only reason why. But if I had the same like clients that, that the companies are, getting and that they're sending me, or I'm saying, sort of like a middleman man, type thing. But if my business is at this point was consistent, where I had clients, people asking for some interpretation services, English classes, if it was consistent like that, then I would stop working for agencies and stop looking for jobs just to kind of support my goal and my dream. I would stop doing it and just do this 110%. So that's kind of where I'm at. That is where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like I got the talent. Everything is in place. I show up, I got the talent, I speak languages. So ain't nothing more I can do other than show up and just be consistent. So like I say, I'm doing my interpreting, working for this agency, which I have did for quite a while now. But now I'm just going hardcore on trying to get my business up off the ground. And when I say up off the ground, I mean monetize. That's what I'm trying to get done. But I am getting there. Like I said, I have got more people that have checked me out. Asked about my website. I mean, that's a big, improvement. I had people ask about this shirt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely dream in the future or even soon, the near future, that I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna sign up for some type of class or some type of. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So this just kind of sort of to let y'all know on that. With my lab, I'm still kind of sort of getting like kind of ups and downs, people popping in, popping out, scrolling through. I'm not discouraged by it. I just kind of sort of fight that, because at the end of the day, like I said, the only thing you can do is show up. You know what I'm saying? If you got your business and you got your dream, what else can you do other than show up, put your energy into it, be yourself? It's only so much you can do. You got people working for other companies that's not doing as much, and still, so it's just like I say, it's just a strategy. It's just a strategy. I'm getting there. I just achieved 1.5 million views on my channel as a whole, so it's getting somewhere. But you just have to keep showing up, even if you feel like nobody watching, or if ain't nobody. That's the only way you're gonna eventually, progress. And that's where I'm at now. That's what I'm doing now. Like I said, at first I would give up, but now it's just like, okay, why give up? You know what I'm saying? It's better that you show up, even if it's for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Consistency, consistency. At first, like I say, I wasn't that consistent at times. I would give up. My whole mindset was just different. But now it's like I'm gonna keep showing up because it's like my business. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't all about the money, because at the end of the day, when people like stuff, when they comment on stuff, I mean, they still keep me motivated. So this sort of kind of like you paying me with your likes, you paying me with your motivation. But I just, like I said, I just do this live just so I can connect with people, encourage people to subscribe, tell them about my website. So I'm promoting myself. Now I have heard about like paying for, like, promoting your stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, I have paid before just to try to like get stuff up off the ground. Like I was trying to promote my site, and I ain't saying it don't work. But I know my experience when I tried like I got Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram too, Russell Trilingual. Follow me on there. I'm dancing. I'm teaching languages, but I'm still kind of working a little bit over here too, though. It's kind of on call type interpretation. So I was let me see. I had paid like a few times I had paid before. And it's like you get people on there, but I sort of kind of feel like it's not people that's all that's always gonna align with what you know what I'm saying. It just be like seeing like it's random folks on there. It don't just be like, I think the best thing for me has been just really growing organically and me just being me. I mean, it's slow growth, but yeah. Yeah, but I'm about to get off here. I just want to talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm gonna start limiting these lives. I'm not gonna be on here for no hour, no 30 minutes if I'm not getting no engagement. But I just want to at least be able to say, you know what, I showed up. I'm here. Je suis là. Je suis là. So in French, you can say je suis là, like I'm here. Je suis là. OK, estoy aquí. Estoy aquí, je suis là. Je suis en train de parler avec vous. Or je suis en train de briller. Like I say, je suis en train de briller. That means that I'm shining. I'm shining. Like estoy brillando. So I can teach y'all those three languages, either French, Spanish, or English. Y'all just pull up. And then if you love the vibe zone is me just doing my videos, dancing, and then like I said, I got story time and stuff, lives and stuff. But it's just like, what I love doing in my shirt. Got my name on the back, Russell. Yep, got my name. All right, y'all. I'll be on too. On va parler plus tard. On se